Monday. Okay, guys, new start to the week, baby. Okay, we had a little bit of a volatile week last week. We did have a little bit of an extended dump off, but I do want to speak about V-shaped recovery, and I do want to speak about this manipulated trap will be ending. When you see multiple red candles like this, it gets absorbed very quickly by an engulfing candle. That means that we have a short squeeze that's getting on the horizon. Now, I told you guys, we are in the bends. This is where we're going 40, 50 miles. We just get through the bends and we are getting near the straights where things are about to speed up incredibly fast. This is when you need to make sure that your vehicle is not destroyed. You are ready to put that foot down. Now, again, this is another piece of experience, right? When you have these maybe a little bit extensions. And again, what we're looking at here is we look at the last week, we did have a little bit of a red week when it comes to altcoins. And obviously look at the month. Right? The monthly is showing you that the green leg was a lot bigger than the red leg. And now we have no more CME gap on Bitcoin, but Bitcoin did go down to the $111,000, $112,000 zone. RSI's on you now reset, and there's a very big short squeeze wall that I want you guys to be prepared for. What we are fighting for is the bottom, and the bottom is near, and the next rally is going to be massive. We are here to catch that as well as be very experienced, right? Make sure that our game plans are set. So again, today I want to give you guys some good altcoin buys. What's actually happening? Let's speak about the short squeeze. Let's speak about, is there any more downside? And let's get ready for the damn bottom. Guys, we are close to opening up to the straight roads. Let's go. No more wasting time. Let's go.
I try and help everyone in my space, and this is what I get. I try and fight the devils, but inside I'm just like Sniper. Welcome to Shell the Show.
Fan, Brand Channel, hit the subscribe button. Guys, I'm feeling better. My energy is coming back. My voice is coming back. That was quite crazy. I was in bed a lot last week. I couldn't talk. Throat was nice and destroyed. It was unfortunate, right? Because we catch the second dip. We were with each other, and I had to get some rest. And then a little bit more happened. However, I'm back here now. Let's calm the nerves. And the very important thing here is to slow down when the market is about to speed up, right? Super, super, super important. These phases, I told you, is here to shake people out. People can make the 100% gains, but put them under 20% pressure, and a lot of people flee out and get shaken out of the market. Understand that the market is currently in shakeout phase, okay? And it is trying to take money from the market, right? And then it's going to get to the point now of giving money back. Now, the second thing that's important as well, okay, is what this does is it neutralizes the market as well. So not only do people get shaken out from these, guys, it's been like 7 or 10 days of red. You know, we've just come from 2 weeks of major pump, right? But these days here can shake a lot of people out. But what it also does is it rebalances leverage, right? Now, the way you build, you balance leverage, okay, is because when the markets were rallying up, we obviously know that a lot of people were more long, right? They were more bullish within the markets. So leverage, all of these type of things, people start trading a lot more when it comes to this. And then when you have the shakeouts, people kind of buy the dips. And where we kind of get to this balance is wiping out lower liquidity. We knew that there was this 112. Now, $112,000 level on Bitcoin. It then kind of started to disappear when we went to 114. We held it. We're like, okay, maybe we ain't going to 112 anymore. Okay, and price ended up coming back down then. What that does is it completely wiped out a lot of leverage within the markets, right? Those that were basically long. Now, adding on top of that is we had a lot of chop before that. Okay, and what you're doing is you're destroying the longs, destroying the shorts. You come down and you rebalance the market. And now what you're sitting is kind of an even market. You might have a bit of shorts that are currently happening right now because people may be thinking, hey, we're going to go back into the 100,000 on Bitcoin. So there's a wall that's right where we are right now. And then above that, there's a massive short squeeze over here. But the important thing now is RSIs are reset. Leverage is nice and reset, and the market has officially shaken out a good percentage of the market. When you see these three signs, you know that a bottom is incoming at any point. This is how the market thrives. It goes down at points to get liquidity to start pushing up again. Okay, and that's why it's so important for us as a community is there's times where we're going 100 and there's times where we go to 40. You never stop racing. Right? You stop racing, you get left behind so quickly when that straight comes. You're sitting behind and you're trying to chase and find trades. The trades are in front of your eyes today, right? The entries are in front of your eyes today. If you're going to wait for the straight to come and wait for the 30-40% pump and then decide to enter the race, that's where you're going to enter the race incredibly late, right? And that's where you're actually going to be caught on the other side where you lose a lot more money. So guys, let's go through it. Let's go through a couple of things. So again, I just want to remind you guys, it's very, very, very important, okay, when it comes to where we're at right now, just to understand the picture. Right. And the picture, again, I'm going to go through this quickly, is we don't have any bearish candles or any bearish signs that we are seeing on the monthly charts. The high time frame, where the hell is this market? Right. And it is incredible just to look back and see Bitcoin from basically January 2023. You know, we went from $15,000 and we into the 100,000, right? It's being very powerful. And we also know that Bitcoin is just really starting that banana. Okay. And we also know that we haven't hit the blow of top yet, right? We haven't hit the fast phase, which means that is still upcoming, right? Where things start to speed up very quickly. Now, however, inside of these candles here, you will see volatility, right? And this is where timing and misjudging things can maybe trap you and get you kind of stuck. Okay, but nonetheless, you could see here, one candle over here. A lot happens within that candle, right? If we look at last month itself, Bitcoin was back at 105, you know, at some point in the month. And then it ended up going to the 123,000. Right, all in 1 month. Okay, so it's important to zoom out and to see the important structure. Matt, if you could just get Chet to just bring me a water, please, sir. They're here. I just don't want to disturb the show as we're here. I can feel my voice is still starting to crack a little bit. Okay, so it's important to see the picture. Now, the picture is here. Okay, that last month we did have a drop to 105. We ended up going strong to 123, and we ended up closing at 116. This candle is bullish. It's telling us that any temporary redness that we are seeing on this monthly right now, where the month has started off red, it's going to turn green. Okay, and when this turns green, it's telling us that it's very likely this month we are going to see a green candle. The next thing that's important as well is, where is the green candle going to go? The green candle is going to go to where the liquidity finished, right? So when price went up over here, and I just want to show you guys this as an example. Price went here first, then it had a drop after that, but look where we went to after that, right? From here, we went straight back to the liquidity. That wick that was there was not there for nothing. Okay, it's extra liquidity that is basically sitting there. So again, nonetheless, if you look at this over here, liquidity is still sitting up high at these areas of this 122. So what that means for me is, in this month here, I'm still expecting this monthly candle within now August. Thank you, brother. Okay, that we are going to get back to the 120s within Bitcoin. Now we put everything else into perspective when it comes to the higher time frames. We also know that the next targets, and I'll remind you guys, because these little slowdown periods, you must understand, we got to be preparing. Where do we go next? Okay, why is Bitcoin going sideways? Sideways means preparation for a move. And you can see that the next big zone is at $130,000 to $132,000 on Bitcoin. Okay, so that is the next understanding of that next major move. When you move down the list over here, you could see that the dominance is literally 2% away from breaking the biggest trend that we've had all the way since 2023. Right, we ain't far. This was a bearish candle. Okay, this is not a, if you saw this on a token that you were trading, then you see that it's been going up, and it puts in, this was a big sale, which gives me a very good understanding, okay, that this candle here is very likely to go red. Now, where it's going to go red is a very important trend line. We lose this trend line over here, okay, and a speed up is about to happen. I told you guys about momentum trend lines, right? That is the momentum on the Bitcoin dominance on the monthly chart, right? Which is a very high time frame chart. And if we lose this, and again, this candle is telling us that this candle is going to be red, we know that there's a big acceleration incoming, and we could see the dominance drop anywhere into these 50%, guys. Do not lose focus. Sometimes there's 2 more days extra dump. Sometimes there's an extra 5% more dump, right? But pay attention to the bigger picture and what's actually there. Do not allow yourself to get shaken out by a small little speed hump on a bend, because just after this bend is the best damn straight of your life, right? Where things really start to extend. So this is a good sign. And again, I want to show you another indicator, which is just making sure that the altcoins are bullish, right? Look how this RSI is really starting to turn down now, right? Really starting to cross over here now. Official crossing the lines, starting to enter down. And the cool thing about RSIs okay, is they really, the price on the chart, or where the real movement happens here, is when we start entering the lower percentages. When we start to enter the lower percentages over here, that's when you really see the increase. And you can see where the increase is going to happen, where the speed up is going to happen with the Bitcoin dominance, right? That's where things really start to flow down. You can see here on the left-hand side here, as RSI comes down to these areas here, look how fast it comes down, right? Because it still works under the same rules, right? And those rules are, we start slowly and we dump at the end quickly, right? That's what catches everyone off of guard. It's the same thing. Okay, so again, high time frames, and let's go into altcoins quickly over here and quickly fly through them just to show you that this is not a bearish candle on ETH. This is not a reversal on the monthly on ETH. Okay, that is a bullish candle. Therefore, you can already start to see how this is starting to get bought up. Okay, not only that, the next green candle should be strong and easily take our way up. Oh, this is total 3. That ain't bearish on altcoins. That ain't bearish. Where's ETH? That ain't bearish on ETH. Right? That is not bearish, and make sure we don't get caught in that. So again, these buys that you are getting now, okay, I want to paint it into the full understanding of the TA here, right? You have a huge cup. Okay, you have a huge handle. Okay, you have one more resistance, which is this main one here that we kind of stopped at, right? And after that, you are sitting at a huge short squeeze on altcoins, where things start to go parabolic. Now, again, was last month not fun to see the altcoins wake up? It was great, right? Okay, that was this little candle over here. Okay, now let's start zooming out and looking at when parabolic phase happens. This candle will be one of the smallest candles that you see, right, when it comes to this. And again, this is a celebrating time because finally we can release the altcoins. On the other side, it's also a little bit sad because it means we are getting near the end of the cycle, right? So it kind of means that if you ain't going to lock in for the next 3 months now, or 6 months, 6-9 months, and lock in this whatever, you maybe wait until 2028, right? Who knows? Maybe the cycle's a little bit smaller. Nonetheless, though, this is where you have to lock in, because if you don't lock in here, locking it up over there is just going to become terrible. Okay, and you could just see over here. So again, get excited, pay attention to these buys here. It's a privilege to still be buying in this phase over here, and this is where you can still make a lot of money. When it comes to the rest of the alts, again, Solana got pulled back a little bit harder, but pay attention to the candle. The candle is a bullish candle. That is a huge wick over there that's sitting, which means, again, this month I'm looking for this to now go chase that $200, which basically means if I look at the monthly, before I even go into the short time now, which I'll go in now, okay, is the monthly is telling me that the price after this pullback now is going to end back where we were. That's where it's going to chase. It's going to chase back, sold back to $200, okay, ETH back to the 4K regions, right? Doge back to 28 cents. Guys, these are 30-40% again. So I don't think whenever in the future again, I'm going to keep working with timing and keep working with the strategy. But whenever I say it's time to lock in some cash again, I don't think any of us can complain again, right? Because it just shows even here, deployed a little bit early. Still bought the dip, which was amazing. Okay, but it just shows you locking up cash. Again, you're looking at another 40% back just to where we were. And we want to take advantage of that. But this is all printing and showing us here that these are strong reversals. Look how quickly Cardano looks like it's one of the stronger ones. Nearly turning green already. Okay. And I spoke about this on yesterday's show. I said we're going to start off today red, and it's very likely we start turning green over the first day or two. And we start extending pretty quickly over here. So there's nothing reversal. That's very bullish on XRP. Do you see what happens when you leave a wick? Just to show you guys. So you leave a wick, candle still feels green or still finishes green. Look at the next month. We go and we chase that liquidity. You see that? Okay, so these candles are telling stories. Look what happens when it closes red. Then we go down. You see the difference between the two. Closing green, closing red. Look at the reactions of what happens next. Right? We're here. Very strong candle over here. Very strong wick over here. So no major concerns. I only but see this as a high time frame opportunity. Okay, let's now dig into the shorter time frames. Again, everything pulled back. Okay, and it's actually come to one of the sexiest levels. But let's go through where Bitcoin is right now. right? Here is Bitcoin. So the important thing is, I'm going to again start this chart off nice and clean, going to daily, high time frame, right? The important thing here is to see that we are still in momentum, which is a good thing, right? You can actually see where we bounced. So this is a sign to say we're at support right now, tons of buys right now, don't be afraid, right? Reason why you don't be afraid is because you know that you can protect yourself over here, okay? But it is telling us we are getting near this momentum trend line over here too. So this for me is when risk is the lowest when it comes to buying stuff, because it's so close here. It's very clear to see if anything starts to shift. The next thing obviously is it just teaches us yet again, be patient for supports. Okay, that's one thing that I learned very much. You know, we've been very good and I've been teaching you guys a lot around supports. Okay, but it just shows you again that if we have been going up and up and up, and then we go sideways and we go up, and then we start to drop, okay, and this is the nearest support, be patient, set those limit orders. And a lot of us, like for me, it will go here and it's like, maybe that's for the trap. They're going to trap these kind of longs. It's crazy how a lot of the times it comes down to support. And that's why it always teaches you that when you are basically buying something, you don't buy something that is pumped into this area. Let it rather break, okay? Let it break and it will come back, okay? And look at this on Bitcoin. We broke out of the all-time highs, okay? Few while back, right? We broke it over here in July. Okay, but look how we come back and tested perfectly. This is where buying is now sitting. And obviously the big thing that happened over here was there was a CME gap sitting here at 114, which has now been closed. So that's a good sign when it comes to higher time frames. Something that ain't gonna affect us and haunt us in the future, okay, is the fact that we did claim that over there. Now what I'm looking at, guys, this is the play over here. So there's two plays, okay? Two plays, maybe a third as well, but let's speak about it. So what it's going to basically do is we are going to start pumping slowly. Okay, and the way that basically looks is, let's zoom in a little bit here. Let's go through the next 2 days, right? Next 24 to 48 hours. Okay, so what you'll see here is there's a bit of resistance here, and that's probably why price is slowing down or stopping. Okay, but let's go through them. So the first one is the slow grind up, which means that anywhere where we are now or a little bit higher, we are going to have a secondary drop. On this drop, though, this is going to be the lower high. Okay. And then what you will see from there is you will start to see the speed up. And overall, if you zoom out, you will see a nice high time frame V shape. Okay. And that this basically scenario here, okay, why I'm saying it will start basically slowing up like this, it basically looks like this. It starts to slowly move its way up, and then it starts to speed up. And that's like every pump. Right? Every pump starts off nice and slowly and then speeds up, right? Once it gets to these major areas. And that's telling us that this nice little area here, if we look at probably by the areas of around Friday or so, we should have recovered a bunch of this in a nice little slow manner. We push up, which means again, next few hours, couple of red, and then market starts to open, maybe a little bit red in the beginning, and then starts to wake up and starts moving over here. But what we're looking for now is a higher low. I'm pretty certain that this was a strong bottom for the market. And what we'll see here is a W pattern. And that's when price comes down, makes a higher low, and you have this W pattern, which is a bullish sign. Now, the next thing as well is, remember, when price is now going down like this, okay, it is forming a bullish pattern. Okay, don't get that wrong. When price is moving down like this, it's forming a bullish pattern. When the breakout happens, things reverse very quickly. You can see every time we form bullish patterns where price ends up breaking out next. Okay, again, if it was doing something like this, we would be a bit worried, right? Because that is a bearish pattern that's in play over there as well. Okay, so the bullish pattern is good. So again, that's the first play. The next one is we actually, because what I see here is a short squeeze. I see here is resistance. Okay, and after that, I see up here. So there is a short squeeze horizon here. So again, the slower option is we go here, we move down, in a day or two we break it and we start moving up there. Okay, and there is another scenario where this market, just remember that monthly is telling me that we're going to turn and rotate at any point now. Okay, which is we get through here and we push up. Guys, when we finally get back above this, that's when you're really going to see the moves. However, we don't want to miss out, okay, on these bigger moves. And again, it's 4-5% on Bitcoin, but on altcoins, it's 20, 30, 40%, right? Bitcoin dominance is getting ready to come down. That is my play on Bitcoin dominance. I've now drawn a new one. The last one we got pretty accurate. We said it would turn here, it turns a little bit higher, but we called this. We got around 70% to 80% of the last moves perfect, right? Now, again, what do? Sharpen my pencil because I don't like 60, 70%. I want 80% next time. Okay, then I want 90, then I want 100, right? I want to be better. Okay, but nonetheless, we have called it better than 95% of all the traders out there, right? We did really well. Okay, and this is the next play that I'm seeing on Bitcoin dominance. A little bit more of a pump, little pullback, and then we start moving down. And I showed you guys, obviously, the higher time frame, what that looks like. We bounce on a big support on altcoins. Very big support, right? And for me, I definitely in the phase of this being the bottoms. Okay, it's on 618, it's on a huge support lines, okay, and things like that. However, let's quickly speak about the shorter time frame. So the shorter time frame looks like this. Okay, again, resistance sitting. Market might go a little bit higher before pullback, but something like this. We pull up, we drop, and then we get going. Okay, which means that there are some buys over here now, and there are buys here. Again, I'm 90% in. Okay, I am going to wait for higher leverage positions for this little piece over here after the next pullback. Nonetheless, I'm 90% in, guys. I cannot be more in, right? Bit of a loss at the moment, but this ain't a loss on high time frame. I bought this for the bigger move, and I'm very happy that I bought up to 20% cheap on a lot of the altcoins. And again, we'll soon see how quickly that turns green and how quickly that starts to grow up, right, over there. When it comes to your altcoins itself, here is my basic plays. Okay, all we're waiting for now is the second low, guys. So here, for example, is Solana. Okay, Sol starts pushing up like this, then the drop, then we go. And again, I see Solana getting back to 200 pretty quickly. Not long until we get back to 200. Right, there's big short squeezes that are rising and holding these points over here too. But again, I must also realize that even where we are right now, the secondary pullback can start. Here, higher low, and then we go. Nonetheless, anything that is close, like Sol right now, I see great entries on Sol right now. Right, to fight for the extra percent or two is your choice, but I see great entries right now. Here is Cardano. Cardano is one of the leading altcoins right now on the bounce, so it gives you an idea of what's going to pop hard next. Okay, and this is something where we here drop, break. The percentage is going to be beautiful. There's 16, there's up to a 20 to 30% move just back to the major tops, right? Sui, there's Sui breakout. Sui is actually pulling back into the trend. So same thing with Sui. Now, Sui didn't hit 618, which means that pullback that I'm speaking about, it might go a little bit deeper to the lows again, double bottom, and then we start moving up. Sui is now available, right? Algo, I don't know why the drawings look there. XRP dropped beautifully on the 618, and look how it bounced. So same thing with XRP, either here or a little bit higher, pull back here, and then we get going. Guys, not much time. Then I told you, for the last 2 weeks, I've been glitching out. I had to go bearish. I had to say, hey, let's sit with some money, then let's get back in. Now we've been working hard in. The moment we have the bounce and everything starts to turn green, then all of a sudden I am going to shift heavy to what's new, what's breaking out today, what's going. So the way you want to kind of prepare yourself, again, today you sit and you say, what am I leaving as a portfolio to run? Right? Get that out of your way. May it be in wallets, may it be in exchange you don't use. What are you buying and holding for 6 months for the bigger run? Get that, load that. Everything's in entries right now. Go. Then the next thing is get your trading portfolios ready. If it's trading with no leverage, there's really good buys right now. And on the next pull, great. If it's leverage positions, we wait, let the market have one more pullback now, and then we'll catch the next leverage ones. Organize your life today. Stretch is what I'm telling you, because we're about to go hit the 100-meter damn sprints, right? Stretch, warm up, get going, get everything flying, right? Yes. Get motivation and everything pumping, okay? And then we start rocketing. Guys, reminder, tomorrow I have a leverage event. Join below in the description. There's a live leverage event. And remember, I'm starting a new sniper school in 2 weeks. Everything is free and nice and simple for you guys. And one special that we have that is massive at the moment is BTCC. One of the great exchanges of 2025. I like them very much. They have a great special. Look below in the description. Okay, guys, as it comes down. Yes, tequila time. Drink. Of course. We have the privilege today of drinking on a Monday. Great. Yes. We drink tequilas. Guys, I'll see you tomorrow. I'm still feeling a little bit, I need to get better. Okay, but I'll see you guys tomorrow. We're going to catch the bottom. We are going to be the most bullish damn channel out there. And when the market's gone up again, we'll be bearish again, right? Taking a bunch of money. But I promise you, we're about to have the next few best weeks and months of our lives. I have one more announcement. If you go to YouTube, All right, one more announcement. Let's go here to YouTube. And you type in Sheldon the Sniper. There is a very good chance. Okay, where is my channel? There is my channel. Maddie, please put a link below in the description. There is a very good chance. So this I used to use as motivation and teach stuff, and it was amazing, right? It's something that I'm definitely going to do a lot more in the future. However, I wanted to drop a video on Saturday morning, but the banter channel was too full, right? And I'm a dad now, and that's happening. This, but I wanted to drop something that was too full. So I'm busy with a fight over there. That Sheldon goes solo, right? And Sheldon basically starts. Sheldon starts. He has his own channel, and he can go live whenever the hell he wants. You don't have to wait until this. And do you guys want to see more of Sheldon? I think that's the question I have to ask you right now. Do you want more shows, more updates, quicker? Sometimes I'll be in my car, quick recording. Sometimes I'll be there and I'll be able to drop in a show. But would you like to have me there more? I have a lot of restrictions around me. Love banter to bits, absolutely do. But I think it's time. If so, go subscribe to this channel. I got something big coming. I think it's time to move Sheldon, and this will be crypto. The new Sheldon, the new this, all this over here. So go follow this channel over here, Sheldon the Sniper, on 27,000 subs now. Get it to 30, get it to 40, get it to wherever you want to be. But I think it's time for Sheldon to have freedom, right? Love you guys lots. Have a great day. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.